Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer House with First Step Nutrition, and today I wanted to talk about something that I know is bothering a lot of us dietitian mommies out there, and it seems to be a very common and pervasive myth if you go into any moms group on Facebook. Specifically, I see this a lot in the baby-led weaning groups, and that is food before one is just for fun. So I don't know who created this rhyme, but it seems to have gone viral. Now, on one hand, I don't mind this saying because it does take a lot of pressure off of parents. There's nothing that we can do to force our children to eat. However, it's not totally accurate, as food before one is not just for fun. So not only does your baby need the different textures to experience that and the different tastes, around 6 months, they're developmentally ready and interested in starting solids. And the reason why it's recommended to start solids around 6 months is specifically for extra iron. So your baby's iron stores from before birth tend to run out around 6 months of age. Now this depends on a couple different factors. So if you had adequate iron when you're pregnant, that's a good sign for your baby. If you delivered to term, that's great as well, as your baby's iron stores build up most in that third trimester. So I guess that's one bonus of going 2 weeks overdue with all of my babies. And as well, if you're able to do delayed cord clamping in the delivery, that has shown that babies at 6 months also have higher iron stores. But around 6 months, your baby does need approximately 11 milligrams of iron per day, which you can't get just from breast milk. And as a caveat, I am a huge breastfeeding advocate. I nurse my kids until they're 3 years old, and I'm the co-chair of the Calgary Breastfeeding Matters group. So I appreciate breast milk. It's super important for your baby's nutrition, as well as their immune system before 6 months and beyond. But as a dietitian, I know that at about 6 months, they need some extra calories and nutrients from food. So iron deficiency is actually fairly common. About 10% of 12-month-olds are deficient in iron. And in the States, they actually recommend that all 12-month-olds are tested for iron. And if the iron deficiency progresses to anemia, this can lead to irreversible neurological defects, growth problems, lots of issues. So it's not uncommon, and there are serious consequences. So how do we get iron into our babies? So fortified infant cereal, of course, and meat is actually my main recommendation for starter food because it contains heme iron, which is a type of iron that's absorbed by our bodies better than any of the iron in the meat alternatives like eggs or beans or the fortified cereals. And it's a bit challenging when you're doing baby-led weaning, which I teach a lot about, and introducing iron. So if you're not spoon feeding the infant cereals, how do you get the iron into your baby? Well, you can still use the infant cereals. You can actually use it in baking and things like pancakes and substitute some of the flour for the fortified cereal. And then you have a finger food that still has some iron. Or you can, again, offer meat in ways that your baby can manage. So you want it to be really tender, like a ground meat. Or I take meatballs and you can flatten them, and then you have kind of like little baby burgers, which they can pick up and eat, but are still soft and tender. Or a pressure cooker or a slow cooker is great for cooking something like a roast or chicken thighs or chicken breasts because you can shred it and it's very tender. Or of course, ribs. I think we've all seen those pictures. I have some myself of babies just gnawing on a pork rib so they can grasp onto it, but it's still really tender as well. So if you're interested in learning more about baby-led weaning, I'm going to post below this video another free video I have on the top 3 mistakes parents make when using baby-led weaning. And one of those is failing to introduce iron-rich foods from the start. And if you have any moms or who have babies around this age, 6 to 12 months, feel free to share this video. And I hope that gives you a better idea of why food before one is just for fun is a myth, and your baby needs a little bit of extra nutrition and iron, and how to get that in your baby's diet. Thanks for watching.